So it's a warm Sunday, early afternoon, running some errands here. And we just stopped off to get some gas. And I just want to show this to all of you because this is all coming to a town near you. And I have to ask the question, how in the world are people going to continue to survive through this crisis when oil prices are exploding, gas prices exploding? Look at this. $6.39 for regular, $6.69 for Supreme. Look at that. Diesel $6.39. But I want you to take a look at that because that is coming to a town near you. $6.69 for super unleaded, $6.39 for diesel. How in the world, somebody please explain to me, how are people going to survive this? And guess what? Those gas prices are going to continue to go up. Think about how we have used up so much of our strategic petroleum reserves. Over 50% of our reserves have been used. And now look at what's happening to oil prices. And think about the cost to replace and replenish those reserves, if we can even do that, because it's much easier said than done. But if we can do it, look at the price of oil now, and it's going to continue to go up. And again, my question is, how in the world are people going to get through these rough times? This right here is already guaranteeing more inflation because everything takes gasoline and oil to be shipped, whether it's on a plane, a train, a boat, a semi-truck, a box truck, whatever. It's all going to take oil and gasoline to ship it. And at these prices, this is all going to be added on to everything on those shelves, everything at the grocery store. But the average person who has to commute to work, the small business owner that relies on gasoline and diesel to run their businesses, how in the world is the average person, average business owner, average household going to continue to survive through this economic crisis with this now happening? Now, it'd be a whole different story if, gasoline was $3 a gallon, people could breathe a little bit, but they're being absolutely suffocated, strangled by these oil prices now, and it's going to get much, much worse. And this is going to really have serious implications on the average household, the person commuting to work, the business owner. Everything relies on oil. This is literally the blood that flows through the veins of a country is oil. And it is getting so expensive, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't know if we're ever going to catch a break here. How much worse is this going to get? I think it's going to get a lot worse. It's Sunday, September 17th, 2023. Please stay tuned to the rest of this video. I shot some video at Costco and just showing you what's going on. The big screen TVs are piling up. People are buying food. They seem to not be buying electronics. They seem to be buying food and clothing at Costco. So I did a walkthrough at Costco today. Also pointed out some things that I think everybody needs to be adding to the preparations. And comment down below what you think we should be adding to our preparations. But again, it didn't look like people were buying TVs. It looks like they're buying food. The carts were not really that full, but the store was very, very full of people buying food and clothing. We've got big trouble, and it's going to get much worse here as oil prices are really beginning to get out of control. You just saw the gas prices in my area. I'm sure in Los Angeles they're even higher, but this is going to be a very, very serious concern now because that is going to be attached to everything on those shelves, everything at the Costco, everything at your grocery store. And before I show these clips at Costco, and please make sure you watch this and comment down below, but Americans, $2 trillion in health crisis savings nearly exhausted. Just reading some of these articles today, just a couple years ago, Americans had about $2.2 trillion in savings. Much of that because of all the stimulus checks and all these injections from the health crisis, the $7 trillion. And so people were flush with cash. Right now today, we're sitting at about $1.5 billion in savings. That's all that's left from $2.2 trillion 2 years ago. Today, we're, the American population here, the American people have $1.5 billion left from that $2.2 trillion. And the Federal Reserve says the money is going to run out in October of 2023. Now, here's more concern. The student loan repayment starts in October. So the money's running out in October. We've got $15.8 billion a month that's going to have to be repaid into student loan debt of the nearly $1.8 trillion that is owed there. But that's $15.8 billion a month going to that. Gasoline prices are soaring. Inflation is soaring. And the average consumer, the average household now is about to run out of money. But I mean, isn't that shocking? $2.2 trillion 2 years ago in savings, and we're down to $1.5 billion. Where did it all go? What is the solution? Well, we know where it went. It went to homes and Airbnbs. It went to vacations. It went to Las Vegas. It went to cryptocurrencies. It went to cars, new and used. People went on an absolute shopping spree, while millions of people didn't even pay their rent. While millions of people went into a mortgage moratorium, didn't even pay bills. They just went out on a shopping spree. The government money was a huge temptation for people, and people showed absolutely no control. They took the bait. They bought the cars, the SUVs, the homes, the vacations, the Airbnbs, fully out of control. And now, what is the solution? The solution was literally 2 years ago, not to go crazy, pay your debts down, pay your bills, don't go out and take the bait, don't go out and buy these things. But unfortunately, the majority of people did that. So the only solution now is immediately, you've got to stop spending. If you're able to sell the cars, the RVs, the boats, the house, this is what you're going to have to do right now. Downsize, get rid of things you're not using. If you're living in a 3,000 square foot house and it's just you and your wife, maybe you downsize to something smaller and try to get out of this. But it's going to get much more difficult now to sell things because people need to borrow money in order to buy things, and interest rates have gone way up since 2 years ago. They're going up literally daily now. We are heading into some very, very challenging times, ladies and gentlemen, and unfortunately, many people put themselves in this predicament. They took the bait, they spent like drunken sailors, and now they're beginning to wake up and realize that they're in very, very big trouble. Wells Fargo, big new wave of layoffs coming. Now, as you know, over the last couple years, maybe some of you don't know, but Wells Fargo has laid off in the last couple years 40,000 of its employees. Now another round of layoffs is coming. And this is what happens when banks cut back on lending, when they've lent on housing and commercial real estate. They know that big losses are coming. They know that people are defaulting on credit cards. They're defaulting. Wells Fargo, one of the biggest banks where we're seeing people default on their auto loans. 30,000 repos a day in the auto sector, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at right now, and it's going to get much, much worse. So while people are going to have to repay their student debt, while people go to the grocery store and see prices skyrocketing, gas prices skyrocketing, think about this. $2.2 trillion in savings, and today as I make this video, we're down to $1.5 billion with a B, 2.2 trillion with a T to 1.5 billion with a B in 2 short years. And now inflation is going to continue to soar. Oil is going to skyrocket. Gas prices out of control. A student loan repayment begins. This is an absolute recipe for disaster. And this is why I've been making these videos for many, many years, to warn everybody out there that would listen, just like many of you have been warning your friends. Many of you were awake before I was awake. But I'm here to reinforce the message with all of you that big trouble has begun. It's not coming. It has begun. It is here, ladies and gentlemen. And so check out the rest of the video. I'm walking around Costco. People are shopping. People are still spending. Are they using credit cards, buy now, pay later plans? How in debt are many of these people right now? How many car payments are they behind? Are they behind on their mortgages? They're out of Costco. It's amazing how many people are out shopping, how many people are still out driving with gasoline prices well over $6 a gallon out here right now. And you know, it's coming to you too, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you might be paying $2.99, $3.99 a gallon, going, oh, it's much cheaper here. But you used to pay $1.89, $1.79, $1.99, and so it's going to get more expensive for where you live too. Maybe you're not going to see $7 gas, but you may see $5 gas and $6 gas. We may see $8, $9, $11 gas out here in California. You could see $7, $8, $9 gas where you live. Nothing is impossible at this point. We have absolutely eviscerated our strategic petroleum reserves now, and it is very unlikely that we're ever going to replenish them. And if we do, at what cost? It's going to be very, very expensive to replenish these reserves, and many say you can't replenish these reserves once they've been drained. So either way you look at it, we're in big trouble. And the only solution I have today that I'll share with all of you is you've got to control your spending. You need to be earning more money, making more money. It may take more side hustles. More money has to be coming in than going out. And maybe it's time to downsize the house. Maybe it's time to sell a car or a truck that you're not using. Maybe it's time to get out of some of this stuff if you can get out at this point. It's not the same market it was 2 years ago. Selling a used car, selling a house, selling an RV or a boat, that was easy 2 years ago. Now, because interest rates are so much higher, it's much more difficult to borrow money. And that means it's going to be much more difficult to sell some of these assets because people just cannot borrow cheap money anymore. So huge headwinds coming for the economy. Please comment down below. What should we be buying at Costco? What should we be adding to our preparations right now? I just named off some general things while I was there. But please comment down below. Let me know, let the audience know what we could be putting away right now and better protect ourselves and better prepare for ourselves and our families as we enter very, very difficult times here. So comment down below. Let me know any of your thoughts, any of your ideas, and where all of you see this going.
It's that's a wow, wow stuff.
If you need a television, wow, it's unbelievable how many TVs Costco has right now. They are stacked with TVs. Unbelievable how much inventory Costco has right now, especially in the electronics department here with televisions. 85-inch, 1100. Wow. So Christmas has begun, September, and the trees are already out. Wow. So they're already trying to get ahead of this right now. Christmas ornaments, the trees, the decorations, the wreaths, they're already out. Amazing. What I find really shocking is $6.69 for gas today, and people are out here spending money like you can't believe. It's amazing just to think about how in debt people are getting while they cannot stop spending. How many people can really afford to be doing this right now? Comment down below. All your Christmas lights, more decorations, aisles of it. September, ladies and gentlemen. Christmas has begun. It's all about the money, right? And they're going to try to get a big head start here. You know, just looking at food prices, even here at Costco, prices are going way up. It's undeniable. And anybody that says things are getting better, you are so wrong. Every time you come to the grocery store, you come to Costco, you see prices rising. And now gas prices are exploding. It's going to be a bad combination of food prices rising, energy prices rising, oil prices rising. Bad combination, ladies and gentlemen. If you need something, buy it now, because the odds are it's going to go up in price very soon. One thing that I recommend, I take this a lot, Amino Energy. Get all your aminos, your electrolytes, Isopure, good protein. You have Optimum Nutrition, their whey protein right here, $63 for 5.64 pounds. This is good stuff to put away, because you're going to need stuff like this if the lights go out. And this stuff right now, we're going to look back and go, it's very cheap. And so this is kind of stuff that I think it's a great idea for everybody to be stocking up on. A couple bags of protein, some amino energy, vitamins, minerals, things like that. Any medications that you may need. This is the time to be buying this stuff. It's going to continue to go up. This stuff in a few months is going to be more than it is right now. Next year, it'll be more than it was this year. It's going to continue to go up. The oil prices are going to tell you that right now. So this is the time to be buying this stuff. So when you're eating those emergency foods and whatnot, or that canned food, it's not going to have all the nutrients that you need. So a great little addition is adding some of this protein powder, putting some these protein powders away, because you're not going to get enough nutrition out of canned food or emergency food. So it's a great idea to be stocking up on a little bit of this stuff. These areas are pretty empty. Your vitamin area, people are buying the junk food and all the bad foods. Again, these are the things, you know, putting away extra vitamins, fantastic idea. Aspirin, some Excedrin. If you have allergies or sinus issues, maybe buy some Zyrtec, buy things for your allergies and your sinuses now while you can. This stuff is going to get more expensive, and then as things get worse, it's going to be harder to acquire. less readily available. So, you know, this is a time to be buying this stuff right now while it's just stacked all over the shelves. So, I think it's extremely important to be adding some of this stuff right now. You know, if you're depleted, if you don't have enough calcium, magnesium in your diet, if you're not taking fish oil is one of the best things for your heart right now that you can take. Why not put away some fish oil? So important for your heart. So these are the things I would be putting away right now. And again, maybe some aspirin, Excedrin, anything for allergies, any type of medical issues you may have. If you need additional medications, this would be probably the time to be putting some of that away. Do you have a trauma kit? Do you have a first aid kit? Do you have a tourniquet? As Aaron said on the trip last week, you should probably have more than one tourniquet. If you take if you suffer a severe wound, you may need more than one tourniquet. You may need two. So very, very important. Extra diapers for your kids. If you have young ones, maybe it's a good time to put some diapers away. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, we just have to be thinking, you know, if the lights went out for a couple weeks or a month, you know, we're seeing what's taking place in Las Vegas right now with these massive cyber attacks. Imagine if they hit a grid in your city. Imagine if your water system went down. Imagine if your grid went down, your power went down. What are you going to do? If we can't process payments at a Costco, what are people going to do? They're not going to Walmart. They're not going to Costco. What you have is what you have. And you better make sure you have enough. We're all guilty probably about not having enough. But these are the times when I'm watching what's happening in Las Vegas. This is a real wake-up call, because it's coming at some point. A big city is going to get hit, and it's going to be chaotic because people, the first thing they're going to do is rush to the grocery stores. And when the grocery stores close down, or if the grocery stores can't take payment and they just shut down, you're on your own, ladies and gentlemen. So get this stuff while you can. Band-Aids, I mean, $14.99 for a big pack of Band-Aids. You know, just the little things that you really have to be thinking about right now that could land up being a big deal down the road. How about an antiseptic? You know, you get bit by something, you cut your finger, you get an infection, and you can't get to the doctors. That could be a really, really big deal. That could turn to a very, very big deal. That could become a life-ending injury. Just cutting yourself on a nail, but you don't have anything to clean out, extra alcohol, things of that nature. You could land up getting yourself into really, really big trouble, and a small cut becomes a major issue, and now becomes a life-altering medical emergency. So make sure that you're thinking. Bottle alcohol, very, very cheap. Antiseptics, pretty cheap. Get this stuff. So I think another really good item to put away is alcohol. Look at all this alcohol. Now, I think that it's a great item to put away because you can clean a wound with this, you can barter with this, you can brush your teeth with this. This serves a purpose, but I think having some alcohol put away is very, very important. Again, it is barterable. It will clean out a wound, but prices are continuing to rise, and prices are going to continue to rise. But the good news is today you can still acquire all these things: the foods, the vitamins, the alcohol, the bottled waters. It's all available. So I think This is another good prep item to have, and I'm not a professional prepper by any stretch of the imagination, but I am walking around here today just thinking outside of the box of some of the things that that we could be adding to our preps. Please comment down below what you think we should be adding. But you know, as I'm walking through the store here today, you know, just these little storage bins, things like that, extra socks, extra t-shirts, very, very important. Couple more bags of rice, bag of beans, some bottled waters. I mean, these are all things we could be adding. You don't have to come here and spend $1,000, but if you came here and spent an extra $100, you're setting yourself up to win. And so as I walk through the store today, it just opens my eyes about, you know, extra things we should all be adding. Propane tanks, you know, how are you going to cook food if you don't have firewood, propane, charcoal? You know, a lot of people go, oh, I have all this food, but they have no way to cook it. Do you have a jet boil? Do you have enough propane canisters? I mean, do you have a smoker or a grill, a jet boil? You know, how are you going to cook this stuff? A Coleman stove, a fire pit, a fireplace, whatever. You know, we got to really be asking ourselves these questions. But as I walk through here today, you know, there's plenty of socks available. You can be buying those, the vitamins, the protein shakes, the toothpaste, the toothbrushes, the Band-Aids. It's all here and it's available. The problem is it's getting much, much more expensive. The stuff today is so much more expensive than it was a year, 2 or 3 years ago. It's astonishing how fast this stuff is going up. But what's even more astonishing is how many people are just filling up their baskets and just buying so much. It's unbelievable. You have to think how much of this is going on a credit card. How much debt are people acquiring when they're going to the grocery store, using credit cards, buy now, pay later plans? And when does it end? And how bad is it going to be when it does end? This is it's an eye-opener. Every time I come to these stores, you know, $6 for a gallon of gas today, and people are just filling up the carts like never before. It's shocking. But this is all going to come to a halt at some point. The brakes will be slammed. And if it wasn't for credit, ladies and gentlemen, remember that credit, that cost now to service credit is absolutely exploding. So people are going to really get themselves into a bind here, and they're doing it right now. But people got to eat, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to eat, no matter how far in debt they go. I ran into a gentleman yesterday at the mall. His name's Michael. Michael, thanks for coming up to me yesterday. Really appreciate that. He's been watching the show since 2017, and he made a really, really good point. He said, JB, take a look at people today. We're not prepared for a war. We're not prepared for a world war. Take a look at people. And a lot of people here in America hate America. But just look at the condition of people. And he was so right, because as I walk around today, I just look at people and I look at the health and condition of people. It's alarming. It really, really is. And you look at China and Russia and the condition of their people, it's not even close. The health of those people is night and day compared to the health of the average typical American. It's really, really sad. But here's some more things. Rice could be adding for your preps, putting that away. Very important. But Michael was 100% right when he said, just take a look around and look at the condition of people. Today, I'm just looking around. We are in no condition to be entering any type of war. I would say that the health of this nation is the worst it has ever been in the history of this country. And it's going to continually get worse. So thanks to Michael for saying hi yesterday and making that point. I couldn't agree more. So that's another thing too, getting the best possible health you can get in right now. Health is one of the most important assets you have. I think a probiotic, Tums, Pepto-Bismol, anything like that could be a lifesaver, literally. Allergy medicines, these are things that are going to make your life a heck of a lot more comfortable if the lights go out, or shall we say when the lights go out. Now if you want to have nice skin during the crisis, get yourself some collagen. You buy it right here. But I think there's a lot of other things you better be worried about if the lights go out other than your skin, so be aware of that. So even at Costco now, you see more and more self-checkout. It's amazing how when you go to these stores now, the prices go up, you have to check yourself out, bag your own supplies. Pretty soon they'll want you to unload the trucks, but it is a sign of the times. But it's another eye-opener every time you go out these days.